Most perfume you've ever smelled, even the expensive stuff, is built mostly in a lab. Synthetic molecules, mass-produced, engineered to smell the same in every single bottle, forever. That's not a knock. That's just how 95% of the industry works. But there's a small, almost invisible corner of the fragrance world that refuses to touch a single synthetic molecule. No lab-made musks, no cheap fixatives. Just real plants, real resins, real animals-free extracts, sourced, aged, and blended by hand. And because nature doesn't mass-produce anything, these perfumes can't be mass-produced either. Today we're looking at 5 houses doing exactly that. Real botanical perfumery, made by people most fragrance fans have never even heard of. If you've only ever smelled designer or even niche synthetic perfume, some of these are going to smell completely different from anything in your collection. Hiram Green didn't start out trying to be different. He worked at Scent Systems in London, a lab, like most of the industry, built entirely around synthetic materials. That's where he learned the craft. And that's also where he decided he didn't want any part of it. So he left. He moved to Gouda, in the Netherlands, and started building fragrances from nothing but natural raw materials. No synthetics, no shortcuts. His most famous creation is called Hyde. It opens with a sharp burst of lemon and bergamot, then crashes straight into birch tar, the same smoky, almost burnt wood material used in old-school leather tanning, before settling into labdanum, malt vanilla, and oak moss. Here's the part that should surprise you. This fragrance, built with 0 synthetic fixatives, still lasts over 24 hours on skin. That shouldn't really be possible with all-natural perfumery, which usually fades fast. It's part of why Hyde won the Art and Olfaction Artisan Award, one of the most respected honors in independent perfumery. A 50-milliliter bottle runs around €195, and every batch is made entirely by Green himself, by hand, in a small studio most of his customers will never see. This next house doesn't just make perfume, it builds what it calls high perfumery, fragrance treated less like a product and more like ceremony. Founded in Washington State in 2009 by Christy Michelle, House of Matriarch is built entirely around natural essences, no synthetic colors, no synthetic notes. Their most talked about creation is called Sex Magic, a blend of 13 different cedar varieties, exotic sandalwood, a touch of real oud, Gandhi root, Buddha wood, leather, moss, and violets. 13 cedars. Most perfume houses use 1 or 2 wood notes and call it complex. The bottles themselves look nothing like typical perfume packaging. Deep blue glass with copper labels, somewhere between steampunk and Islamic abstract design. It's not accidental. Michelle describes her work as reconnecting people with the ultimate matriarch, Mother Earth herself. Whether or not that framing is for you, the ingredient list backs up the ambition. This is not a perfume built to smell inoffensive, it's built to be felt. If House of Matriarch is ceremonial, LVNEA is something closer to folklore. Based in Montreal and led by perfumer April Leah, LVNEA has built what can only be described as a cult following for fragrances inspired by the natural and spirit worlds, using entirely botanical handmade ingredients. Their standout scent, Follet, translates to will of the wisp, and it smells exactly like its name suggests. Crackling conifer needles, scorched bark, burning balsam, columns of smoke from a wildfire, leather, and church incense woven through the whole thing. This isn't a perfume trying to smell pretty. It's trying to put you inside a specific, eerie moment, standing near a fire in the woods, watching smoke rise through trees. And the fragrance world has noticed. Follet was named a 2026 finalist for the Institute for Art and Olfaction's Golden Pear Award, one of the highest honors an independent perfumer can receive. LVNEA has been doing this since 2013, entirely by hand, out of a small Montreal studio. No mass production, no synthetic shortcuts, ever. Most perfume houses guard their process like a vault combination. Providence Perfume Co. does the opposite. Founded by Charna Ethier in Providence, Rhode Island, this is a fully natural, plant-powered perfume house. But what sets it apart is that Ethier doesn't just make perfume, she teaches other people how to make it too, running perfumery classes alongside her award-winning fragrance line. In an industry obsessed with secrecy, that's almost unheard of. Her perfumes lean fully botanical, real essences, real absolutes, nothing synthetic propping up the formula. And her philosophy is blunt about the difference. Synthetic vanilla might smell like vanilla, but it isn't vanilla. Real tuberose absolute comes from an actual flower, not a chemical approximation of one. That distinction between smelling like nature and actually being nature is the entire reason this category of perfumery exists at all. And now, the one that's going to surprise most of you. Because almost nobody outside serious fragrance circles knows this name yet. Maksim Bortnikov started under his father's label, Bortnikov Perfumes, releasing scents like Le Voyage Oriental and Victoria. Both were well received, but instead of staying in his father's shadow, he broke off entirely, moved to Bangkok, and started Maksim Perfume, a house built around 95 to 100% natural ingredients sourced from literally every continent. Take his flagship, Amber Balsam, Calabrian bergamot from Italy, Guatemalan cardamom, Indonesian clove leaf, Australian Gurgan balsam, Sri Lankan cinnamon, Chinese green tea. That's 6 countries, 4 continents, in a single bottle, and every single one of those ingredients is real, not a lab reconstruction. Prices range from $85 up to $320 depending on size, which is genuinely accessible for a house working at this level of ingredient sourcing. Here's why this one takes the top spot. Bangkok sits close to some of the world's richest resin, oud, and spice-producing regions in Southeast Asia. And Bortnikov built his entire house around that geographic advantage, while still being independent, still being small batch, and still refusing synthetics. He's proof that this kind of perfumery isn't locked to Paris or London anymore. It can start anywhere, as long as someone's willing to do it the hard way. Every house on this list made the same trade-off. Synthetic materials are cheap, stable, and consistent. They smell identical in bottle 1 and bottle 10,000. Natural materials are expensive, inconsistent, and fade faster. Choosing natural means choosing more work, higher cost, and less shelf life every single time. None of these 5 houses did that by accident. They did it because a lab-made version of tuberose, oud, or vanilla, no matter how convincing, is still an imitation of something real. And for a small but devoted group of collectors, that difference matters more than convenience ever will. This doesn't mean synthetic perfumery is bad. Some of the most beloved fragrances ever made, from Chanel No. 5 to modern Tom Ford, rely on synthetic molecules that don't exist anywhere in nature, and that's exactly what makes them smell the way they do. Synthetics aren't a shortcut, they're their own kind of skill. What separates the 5 houses on this list is simply a different philosophy, a refusal to use anything except what the earth already made. If this video introduced you to even one new name to go research, that's exactly why I make these. Subscribe if you want more videos like this one. Drop a comment telling me which of these 5 you're most curious to try, and share this with someone who takes fragrance as seriously as you do.